Trent Alexander Arnold is joining Real Madrid in the summer. Trent Alexander Arnold is leaving Liverpool to join Real Madrid in the summer. Now, this is not a video that I wanted to make. This is not a topic that I want to talk about. This is not something that I particularly like talking about, but it's something that we have to discuss because it's been the talking point of today. It's been the talking point of the last year or so. And I think the saga finally has its closure. Maybe not the answer that most Liverpool supporters wanted, including myself, but closer to a saga that probably needed its closure. And we're going to dive into everything to do with this transfer, what it could mean for Liverpool, and what it could also mean for Real Madrid. We're going to talk about legacy. We're going to talk about how Liverpool fans are going to view him after that. All sorts of different opinions. And I'm going to try to illustrate to you the best way I possibly can. But guys, if you're new here, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment down below because we are now on the road to 500 subs. Thank you so much for the continued support. But let's get into it. Trent Alexander-Arnold is joining Real Madrid in the summer of 2025. And this has been a discussion that's been happening for quite some time. Will Trent sign? Will he go? Will he stay? Is he going Madrid? Is he staying at Liverpool? And finally today we have some sort of clarity in the situation where we had Fabrizio Romano come out on the topic. We had David Ornstein come out on the topic. We had Paul Joyce come out on the topic. And there were lingering rumours from last night as well, suggesting that Trent to Real Madrid is basically done. He's agreed to join Real Madrid and he will not be extending he'll not be extending his contract with Liverpool. And look, I can accept the player leaving Liverpool. I can accept that because I've seen it with Suarez, I've seen it with Torres, I've seen it with Coutinho. I've seen Firmino leave this club, not maybe for the bigger clubs, Firmino, for example, but I've seen top players leave the club, Sadio Mane, among many others, Xabi Alonso going to Real Madrid. I've seen many players leave Liverpool and go on and do great things, but I've also seen players leave Liverpool and not do so well. And look, whatever you think of this transfer, that's completely fine. Whether you think he's a snake is what I'm seeing people calling him, whether you think he should be like prideful that he's playing for Liverpool, and I can accept that. I think for most Liverpool supporters, I think what bothers them the most about this transfer is that it's every scouser's dream to play for Liverpool. Everybody that comes to the academy at Liverpool, it's their dream to play for Liverpool. And Trent Alexander was obviously handed that by the club, and he's now kind of decided I'm going to walk out on a free transfer. And I'm going to pull up the tweet that was displayed earlier to us by Fabrizio Romano. He actually first retweeted a tweet that was posted in 2024, February, March time, where there's no indication on the player's views whether he wants to go to Madrid or stay at Liverpool. But this was obviously today. He reported Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid closer and closer after story revealed 1 year ago. Like I said, the official proposal from Real Madrid has been sent to Trent Alexander-Arnold and his camp. Discussions underway on the details of the deal. All parties involved confident to get the agreement done. Now, to me, this shows that he's been wanting this move for a very long time. And I'm going to pull up another tweet that showcases this even more so. You can see here about the Anfield sector by Marca. Actually, they quoted Marca saying Trent Alexander-Arnold made his decision to leave Liverpool in late 2023. And this is even before Jurgen Klopp announced that he's leaving the club. So I think people are trying to put two and two together. Jurgen Klopp's leaving, Trent's leaving at the same time. I don't think that has any notion. I think the 4-year contract thing where Klopp extended for 4 years and Trent 4 years on his contract, where Liverpool for 5 years to the younger players. But he had already made a decision that he was going to leave Liverpool in late 2023. So we're talking November, December time. And Liverpool currently top of the league that time as well. And obviously we're in a title race. And to me, this is very telling that it seems like he's always wanted this move to go to Real Madrid. And I'm not going to, abuse players or shout or scream or, because I'm not that type of supporter. I like to try and give both-sided views, whether I agree or disagree with either point. It's not the point. I always like to give, for and against for an argument, because I think that's important, because what you might think might not be actually true and what you don't think is true might actually be true. So you have to give both sides. So I think maybe Trent always wanted this move to Real Madrid. And obviously, I think Jude Bellingham is there, and that's probably been in his ear as well. And they're quite close, and I can see that being another indicator as to why he might want to go there. Obviously, Real Madrid are European champions. They win La Liga virtually every single season, or most seasons they win La Liga. Them or Barcelona, and you got Atletico Madrid in the mix as well. But I'm talking about, we see Real Madrid are one of the top clubs of winning their leagues, and they win Champions Leagues, and they've won how many Champions Leagues in the last decade or so. And obviously they beat Liverpool in the finals, and Trent Alexander Arnold got to experience that firsthand. And look, maybe what it was for Trent is that, he has this kind of loyalty to Liverpool where it was late on. He decided he wanted to go to Real Madrid, but he didn't leave in the summer because maybe he thought, you know what, I might change my mind. Because when you're at a place for such a long time, you build that kind of connection with that place, no matter where you work, even in a normal job. If you worked for a place for 6 years, and it is hard to say goodbye when you're at a place for so long. That's normal. That's going to happen. We see that so many times, even in football, how many managers leave and players leave after such a long time, and it's such an emotional, even they don't have an emotional connection to the club in terms of they've come through the ranks. This man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, has come through the ranks. He's been at the club for how many years? Since he's about 11 years old. I'm sure it's even before that. So he does have and sort of Liverpool in his heart. He does have that, and I do believe that no matter him going to Madrid or not, I do believe that he holds Liverpool dearly to him. But I also think that the way it's been handled is incorrect. I think we see Salah and Virgil van Dijk come out numerous times speaking about their contract situation, saying, I want to stay, we want to stay. Trent was not doing any interviews about the contract situation. He said his contract situation is not going to be played out in public, which was from his side, yes, but it was played out in public anyway. And why has this come out with 8 games to go of the season when Liverpool are going to win the title? To me, it's 8 or 9 games to go. And to me, it's just like the timing is incorrect. If this was a decision that was going to be made, maybe he should have been sold last summer, because that way at least get a fee for him. And that way it doesn't look like he's running his contract down to leave Liverpool with nothing, because that's what Liverpool fans are going to look at. You're a scouser and you are betraying the fans by leaving the club. And second of all, we're getting nothing for you after we are the club that put you in the position you are today. And I can understand that. What I don't agree with is fans abusing him and, going for his family and calling him stupid and a snake and a Judas. I never agree with abuse to players, because if you're offered a better job somewhere else and you're going to say, oh, it's not just a job, it's Liverpool, and I understand that. It doesn't hear me out here. He's not going to a Manchester United. He's not going to a Manchester City like Sterling did, even though Sterling went for purposes of winning trophies, and he eventually did. And at that time, Liverpool fans struggled to accept that one as well. But I think over time they understood that one. Luis Suarez left for Barcelona to go and win trophies, and I don't think he's really hated by Liverpool fans per se. Philippe Coutinho signed a new contract, then left, so he at least gave Liverpool money to work with, and eventually with that money they invested to sign Van Dijk and Alisson. With Trent, the problem is that he's leaving on a free. I don't think the problem is that he's going to Real Madrid. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I think there is a problem with him going Real Madrid, but I think Liverpool fans will be much more accepting of it if he had signed a new contract and left for 70 odd million. And I understand you're frustrated. I understand it's an honor as a Scouser to play for Liverpool, and I accept that. I'm not a Scouser myself, so obviously I don't know what it means exactly, and I'm sure there'll be Scousers watching this video and Liverpool fans watching this video that know a lot more about this than me. But I'm kind of looking at it from the outside in and trying to give both sides. I think Trent is going to Real Madrid. He's going to a club that are probably the biggest club in the world. They win the most trophies and they have the best players. And look, I've even created a lineup for you guys to see what kind of players he's going to be playing with at Liverpool. And that's not a knock to Liverpool, but when you've got the likes of, Huijsen could be joining, Dean Huijsen, could be joining. I got that wrong last time, so people having a go at me. Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth could be going to Real Madrid. They have Raul Asensio that can play there. Rudiger, they have Tchouameni, I've not even included there. Luka Modric is not even included there. Mbappe, Vinny. I didn't even include Vinicius Jr. in there. You know how insane that is? Let's just put Vinicius Jr. in this team. How can you not be motivated by this team? They are the European champions. He's one of his best friends in football in that team. Now, like I said, I don't agree or disagree. I'm just giving a point as to why he could be leaving. because there are points for and against it. And he has got some of the best players in the world in his team. He does that at Liverpool as well. But he is going to win a lot more at Real Madrid, and that's a fact because they always win the most. They have the best players, they have heritage, and they do it year in, year out. And he's going to be the starting right back there. What I will say is, though, he should have given some, I think his camp should have given some clarity. And I do understand that they came out and said that it's not going to be played out in public. But once it's been out in public already, they need to then come out and say yes or no. Because then Liverpool fans would be like, they won't be, nails on his back saying you're ducking interviews, you're not speaking on the situation, you're just letting it go. But maybe in Trent's mind, he said, it wasn't me that put the interest out there. It wasn't me that said I want to go to Madrid or not. So I'm not going to come out and deny it. And I can understand that side too. But when it comes out into the media like it has, I think then it's important for it to be some clarity to be given to the situation. And that's what Liverpool fans have not got. And I think that's why they're frustrated. One, he's a Scouser and he's kind of leaving Liverpool on a free. Two, he's not been doing interviews. And three, I don't think there's a three. I think those two are the most important things. That if Trent was going to stay, he should have said. If Trent was going to go, he should have said. Because I think Liverpool, over a course of time, would become more accepting of it. And then they'd appreciate him playing more games. Because if Trent was going to leave, I think people, I made a mistake as well. I saw him put a lackluster performance against, I don't remember who the team was. It was a month. And I said, it was a while ago. And Real Madrid noise was around that time. And I said, does he look like his head's not in it? I think it was against Manchester United. And he had a really bad performance in that game. I said, his head doesn't look like he's in it. And so his Real Madrid noise probably got to him. But then he's a professional player. And I don't think he'd do something like that. And I think if he had announced that he's leaving next season, I think Liverpool fans would have been like, okay, you've announced you're leaving, but you're giving us one more season. And then they'd probably be like, okay, then you'd appreciate the games that he's playing, counting down to his move, rather than him not saying a word and then just coming out like this. I think that's what Liverpool fans are frustrated about. And look, I can't blame him for going to Madrid. If he was going to City or United or an Arsenal, I can accept that because they're Liverpool's direct rivals per se, competing for trophies and historically with United. But it's Real Madrid. They are the biggest club in the world. They win the most trophies and they have the best players. And you know what? Whatever you think of him, I always want to see Liverpool players, ex-Liverpool players, do well wherever they go. Just not against Liverpool. But I'm not going to call him a Judas. I'm not going to abuse him. I think he just simply, people are going to have a go at the club and say why the contract situation is not sorted. I think Trent probably told the club he doesn't want to stay. But then that's then down to the club to then sell him. People are going to say he's leaving on a free, but why? If he made his decision in late 2023, why didn't the club go and sell him? But then I can also understand why they wouldn't sell him, because he's that high of caliber of a footballer that losing him on a free is probably more worth it than getting 50 million for him. But look, I think finally the clarity on the situation is important. Trent Alexander Arnold will be a Real Madrid player in the summer. They've assembled a brilliant 11, and all the best to him. He's not going to be a Liverpool player next season. Let's see who Liverpool bring in at right back. Whether it's Conor Bradley, Frimpong, whoever it is, I just want Liverpool to win. And most importantly, now that we know Trent is leaving, I hope that Liverpool sort out the contracts of Salah and Van Dijk, because if Salah and Van Dijk don't extend, Liverpool are going to be in serious trouble come next season. A lot to talk about, but clarity is always the most important thing in football, and we've got it with one player. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.